Welcome back to McNulty's Book Corral. So for this episode, I was thinking that I should do something that's interesting and with a universal appeal. Something that crosses all boundaries for all people. Something warm-hearted and fuzzy. Something to make you feel good. Something to inspire the masses. Something that would make your heart palpitate and pitter-patter with golden joy. Fortunately, I came to my senses and I decided to start drinking instead. And that, my friends, is how it's done here at McNulty's one and only Book Corral. So today, I decided to open up a comic box. I haven't done that in a while. So we're going to do something different, different type of comic for now. We're going to be getting to more comic books from that collection in the future. But here we're going to start with Battle Action. So this was... I picked up a small stack of this stuff in London in 2019, and I thought it would be interesting because in a year I'm going back to the UK, and I already have a list of bookstores to visit so I can continue stacking up pulp. Why not? So I pulled out these war comics I picked up in London. Battle Action ran for a number of years. This is a December of 1980 issue. And it's pretty good. These are what they seem to be. They're war stories, and I like them very much. It's black and white, generally black and white artwork. The artwork is fantastic. I don't always see a credit for the writers on these, but that's okay. Occasionally you get a color spread, but mostly this was cheaply done. As you can see, this is really pulp. This is old school pulp. This is newspaper pulp. From the UK. So 14 pence this cost, and some of these were weekly. Yeah, well, this was every Thursday. Battle Action. So Battle Action has been revived by the writer Garth Ennis, and he used various artists. This started in 2022, so it's fairly recent. I did see them on Amazon. They're really expensive. And the reviews seem to be good. So if you're one of those comic book collectors who has read the new incarnation of Battle Action, and if you can recommend it, let me know in the comments. I'd really like to know. I am seeing good reviews on these from some other YouTubers and so forth. So I do plan on getting that. That looks really interesting. War stories are almost a thing of the past. In the comic book industry, you don't get too much of it. And when they put something out, like DC did recently with Sergeant Rock, and it was horrible because they're mixing the old Sergeant Rock mythos with supernatural events, and that's okay. I get it that supernatural stories and horror stories are a big seller, but Sergeant Rock was a thing by himself. But anyways, so to see Garth Ennis helping with that is kind of interesting to me, and I think it's exciting, but I don't know when I'll get around to buying that yet. I think there are quite a few issues out there. So I picked up a diverse stack of comics, and this is Bullet from July of '77, and I'll have a scan of this popping up. It will appear magically next to me, just as this will appear magically in my hand. And another bit gone. I really like Bullet. I only have two of these. This has a series in it called Werewolf, and also Solomon Knight. Various characters in these comic books, right? So the werewolf character I really enjoyed, and the setup is interesting. Ex-detective Dave Barry has inherited the powers to change into a werewolf, and he uses these powers to wage a vendetta against crime. Only his servant, Grimes, shares his secret. So I think I have a scan of this. Great premise, great setup. I'd love to see these reprinted, see the series reprinted. I think that's really exciting. So the Bullet comics were really good. And then they had, again, multiple characters, and these Fireball is a big character, and these were black and white stories. Very well written. Very well written. The artwork is great. But I don't always know who the writer was or who the artist was. I don't see that credited here. These were published out of Fleet Street by D.C. Thompson. When I was in London, I actually went to the D.C. Thompson offices, and nothing happened. It was, I was excited to be there. It was D.C. Thompson right there. I could see it on their door. So I go in there, and there was a girl sitting at the desk. I said, "Hey, I'm from the States, I was subscribing to Commando at that time still, and that's about the only digest they put out that interests me. I wanted to talk to the editors and just say hello." And she said, "Well, there's nobody here." She goes, "They went off somewhere. I don't know where they are." And she said, "And I'm just a temp." So I said, "Okay." So that's my deflated, disappointing D.C. Thompson connection. Okay, so Bullet merged in 1978. Bullet ran from 76 to 78. And I looked this up, and then they merged with Warlord Comics. And Warlord Comics is pretty good, too. Really good stuff, which ran until 1986. And these characters were multiple characters, and they were... it's all war stories. I mean, it's just like Commando is today, which is still being published. The artwork, I really thought the artwork was great. So take a look at the scan here, coming up for a better look at the artwork. I really enjoyed these. And I don't remember, I bought so much when I was in London. It's just really fun material, with really good artwork. I mean, they had a good grasp of it. And the battle sequences were so well done, really fun. So I enjoyed reading these, and I wish I had sought more out. So when I return to the UK in a year, it's going to be a little more than a year from now. I'm going to be there a long time again. I'm going to be meticulous in making sure I get more of these comic books, pulp digests, Sexton Blake, whatever I can find. If I can find any. You don't know when you're doing this stuff. So I have this modest stack of Warlord comics. Newspaper style. Again, really cheap pulp paper. This is not high quality paper at all. Old school, but yet fun. Every Thursday, Warlord, would come out. And you pick them up at the train stations, cigarette shops, whatever, and I wish I had collected more. I just thought that they were fantastic. So a little peek at some comic books from the great UK. Really fun material, exciting material to read for you comic book fans. I have no idea what amount of this has been reprinted, if any. I think certainly a lot of it, like that werewolf series, is certainly worthy of reprinting. I think that would be great. That would be a product that I would buy if they reprinted some of those stories. The Fireball stories. A lot of information here that would be, I think, something that would find a ready market here in the United States with comic book collectors if they chose to reprint it. Maybe there are some reprints I don't know about. I'm just not sure. The only thing I know is that Battle Action has been revived by Garth Ennis, and that's exciting news. So, a little glimpse at the comic book box with more to come. Hang on. I thought I'd get away from the scantily clad ladies. I always get complaints about that when I post an episode like the last one. There's always somebody out there that wants to tell me that Jesus is speaking to them through their pet parakeet, and I better clean up my act. And shame on me for looking at those scantily clad ladies in those books. Oh, we can't ban it all. Well, good luck. All right. Anyways, fun material for me, and I hope that you enjoy this type of thing. I hope you're well. Stay well, stay happy, feed your brain, drink a pint, read a book.